There are days when everything feels heavy. Your heart aches, and it's hard to explain why. You may be going through something, or maybe it's just one of those days where sadness settles in and refuses to leave. It might feel like no one understands what you're dealing with, and maybe you don't even have the energy to explain it. That's okay. Right now, I want you to know that it's safe to feel whatever you're feeling. There is no need to hide it or fix it all at once. You don't have to pretend to be strong when you're not. You don't have to smile when your heart is tired. This is a safe space, and there is no judgment here. I want you to hear these words deeply. You are going to be okay. You may not see the path clearly yet, but just because you don't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. Life moves in quiet ways. Healing can happen in the softest moments. The fact that you are listening now is already proof that something inside you wants peace. You are not broken. You are not lost beyond hope. You are simply feeling what it means to be human. Sometimes life is not fair. Sometimes people hurt us, and sometimes we hurt ourselves with the thoughts we think. But you are still here, and that means there is still time to breathe, to choose something new, to feel supported. You've survived so much already. Every breath you've taken in pain has been a step closer to healing. Even if you feel like you're stuck, even if nothing makes sense right now, please remember, you are not alone in this moment. There is something bigger than us, love, energy, God, the universe, that is still holding you. It hasn't let go. It never will. When you feel weak, that presence holds you strong. When you feel forgotten, that love remembers you. And when you feel like giving up, that inner light waits patiently until you are ready to believe again. Say softly to yourself, even though I feel overwhelmed, I am safe and supported now. Let those words become your quiet prayer. You don't need to fix everything in one day. Sometimes all you need to do is be still and let the pain pass through you like a wave. It won't stay forever. Nothing does. You are being guided, even if you don't feel it yet. Trust that something good is still meant for you. You are going to be okay. Not because everything will magically change overnight, but because there is strength in you that is still unfolding. And even on the hardest days, that strength whispers, keep going. You may feel so many different emotions right now. Sadness, frustration, fear, maybe even numbness. Whatever you're feeling is okay. You don't have to explain it to anyone, not even yourself. Emotions are a natural part of life. They come and go, like waves in the ocean. Some days they are calm, and other days they feel like a storm. But each one has a purpose. Each feeling is here to teach you something about yourself. You don't have to push them away or pretend they're not there. Let them be. Let them move through you like wind through trees. You are strong enough to feel them without being controlled by them. Sometimes we think we shouldn't feel certain things. We're told to stay positive, to not cry, to move on quickly. But that's not always possible, and that's not always right. Healing begins when we stop running from our emotions and start listening to them. If your heart feels heavy, it's because it has carried so much. Let it rest. Let it speak. Sit quietly and ask yourself, what do I feel right now? And whatever comes up, welcome it with kindness. Don't judge it. Don't label it as bad. Just allow it to be. When we give our emotions space, they begin to soften. They begin to shift. There's no need to be afraid of your feelings. They are not here to hurt you. They are signals, not enemies. If you feel anger, it may be protecting your boundaries. If you feel sadness, it may be showing you what matters to your heart. If you feel fear, it may be asking you to slow down and take care of yourself. Emotions are messengers. When you listen to them without judgment, you open the door to deep healing. One simple way to begin is by writing. Take a few minutes and put your thoughts on paper. Don't worry about spelling or grammar. Just write what you feel. Let your heart speak freely. You might be surprised at how much lighter you feel afterward. You can also place your hand on your heart and say gently, "I honor how I feel. My emotions are valid and part of my healing." Speak these words with love, even if you don't fully believe them yet. Over time, your mind will start to understand. Your emotions are not weaknesses. They are signs that you are alive, that you care, that you're growing. So be patient with yourself. You are learning to heal. You are learning to listen inward. And you are doing better than you think. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Sometimes the hardest voice to silence is the one in our own heads. That inner voice that says we're not good enough, that we've made too many mistakes, that we'll never be okay again. It's a voice many of us learned early on, from the world, from past hurts, and from comparing ourselves to others. But you are not that voice. You are the listener, and you have the power to change the conversation inside your mind. Being kind to yourself when you're struggling is not easy, but it's necessary. Imagine speaking to a dear friend who's hurting. You wouldn't tell them they're weak or foolish for feeling low. You would hold them gently. You would speak soft words and remind them of their worth. You deserve that same tenderness. You are worthy of your own love and care. Every thought you think sends a message to your body. When you think harsh thoughts, your body feels tense, your breath becomes shallow, and your heart closes a little. But when you choose kind thoughts, your body relaxes. Your breath deepens. Your energy begins to shift. It's okay if you've been hard on yourself in the past. You can choose again now. This moment is always fresh. It's never too late to begin again. You can begin by looking into the mirror, gently into your own eyes, and saying, "I am learning to speak to myself with love and kindness." These words are seeds. You may not see the flower yet, but every time you say them, you are watering the roots. Change starts with softness. You don't need to be perfect to love yourself. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to be willing to try. Every time you notice a harsh thought, pause and ask, "Would I say this to someone I love?" If the answer is no, choose a kinder thought. It might feel awkward at first. That's okay. Be awkward. Be unsure. But be loving. Over time, those gentle words will become your new truth. You will begin to believe in your own goodness. You will begin to trust that you are enough. Your mind is like a garden. You get to decide what grows there. Pull out the weeds of criticism and plant the seeds of compassion. Be patient with yourself as you grow. Healing is not a straight line. Some days you will feel strong, and some days you won't. But each day you speak to yourself with kindness, you take another step toward peace. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are the one who is learning to love yourself through it all. And that love is more powerful than you know. When you begin to understand how much your thoughts influence your life, everything starts to change. We often believe that our emotions just come from the world around us, but so many of them begin in the thoughts we think over and over again. A thought becomes a belief, and a belief becomes a pattern. That pattern can shape how we feel, how we act, and how our body responds. If you wake up each day thinking, "I'm not good enough," or "nothing ever works out for me," your body hears those words. Your heart feels them. Your energy becomes heavy. But if you gently choose different words, the shift begins. It doesn't need to be loud or dramatic. A soft thought like, "I am doing the best I can," or "I am open to healing," is enough to start turning your day around. Even small thoughts carry great power. Think of your mind like a stream of water. You can choose which way it flows. You don't have to keep going in the direction of fear and worry. You can guide it toward peace and love. This is not about ignoring your pain. It's about not feeding it more than it already hurts. You can feel your feelings and still choose thoughts that soothe instead of sting. Try saying to yourself, "I choose thoughts that nourish and support me." Say it gently. Say it often. Let it become your reminder when the old voices return. It's not about forcing yourself to be positive all the time. It's about reaching for a thought that feels just a little better than the last one. One soft thought at a time. One kind word to yourself. One deep breath. The body listens to everything the mind believes. When you tell yourself you're safe, your breath steadies. When you tell yourself you're enough, your shoulders drop. When you tell yourself it's okay to take it slow, your whole being begins to relax. Visualize each thought like a drop of color in water. The more kind thoughts you add, the more the whole space fills with peace. This is the beginning of healing. This is how you reclaim your mind. Not with force, but with love. You're not trying to be perfect. You're learning how to be gentle with yourself, again and again. And that is enough. There is nothing wrong with you for feeling hurt. There is nothing wrong with you for needing rest, for needing time, for needing to feel seen and loved. You are not broken. You are becoming. Sometimes it's easy to believe that we should be further ahead, or that something is wrong with us because we're still hurting, still struggling, still figuring things out. But pain is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that your heart has been brave enough to care. It means you've loved, you've tried, you've hoped. And now you are growing in a new way. Healing doesn't always look pretty. It often looks like confusion. It feels like going backwards. It makes you question if you're doing anything right. But growth is quiet. It happens underground. Think of a seed. Before it becomes a flower, it breaks open in the dark. It pushes through the soil with no proof of light, only the quiet pull of life. That's what you're doing. You're not stuck. You're growing roots. You're not behind. You're becoming stronger. You don't have to have all the answers right now. You only need to be willing to keep showing up for yourself. Say softly, "I am healing, even when I cannot see it yet." Let that be your truth, even if everything still hurts, even if the future feels uncertain. Healing is not something you force. It is something you allow. Some days will feel lighter. Some days will feel hard. But each day is part of the process. You are still learning how to live with more kindness, more understanding, more faith. The hard days don't mean you're failing. They just mean you are feeling deeply. You are becoming someone who knows how to be with themselves through everything. That is powerful. That is beautiful. You are not broken. You are in a sacred process of becoming. Trust it, even if you don't understand it yet. Trust that something good is forming within you. It always has been. You were never meant to earn your worth. You were born with it. There is a deep part of you that knows this, even if you've been taught otherwise. Even if the world made you feel like you had to prove yourself to be loved. Even if people failed to see your value. None of that changes what is true. You are worthy. You are lovable. And you deserve love, especially from yourself. On the days when everything feels hard, that's when you need your own love the most. Not judgment, not pressure, just love. It might feel strange at first. Maybe you're used to being hard on yourself, thinking it's the only way to improve or stay safe. But you don't have to be your own enemy. You can be your own comfort, your own friend, your own support. Begin gently. Place a hand on your heart and breathe. Close your eyes and say, I am worthy of love, especially my own. These words are healing. Let them soften you. You don't need to wait until you fix everything. You don't need to become anyone else. The love you give to others, so freely, so deeply, that same love belongs to you too. You don't have to beg for it or earn it. You just have to give yourself permission to receive it. It's okay if that feels hard. Start with small acts of kindness. Let yourself rest without guilt. Speak kindly to yourself when you make a mistake. Celebrate the little things you do well. Look in the mirror each morning and say, Good morning, I love you. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, say it anyway. Your soul hears you. Your body responds to that love. Your heart begins to soften. Self-love is not selfish. It is necessary. It fills your cup so that you don't feel drained. It reminds you that you are your own home. You are your own source of strength. When you love yourself, you teach others how to love you too. You attract kindness. You protect your peace. You walk through the world knowing your value. And when hard days come, that love becomes your anchor. You are not alone. You are not unworthy. You are learning to love yourself again, just as you were always meant to. And that love will carry you through. There is something so comforting in knowing that you are never truly alone. Even in your quietest moments, even when no one seems to understand what you're going through, you are being held by something greater than yourself. Call it the universe, call it love, call it God, whatever feels right for you. That presence is always near, even when you can't feel it. On hard days, it may seem like nothing is working, like the world has gone quiet. But silence is not absence. Just like the sun continues to shine behind the clouds, there is always light, even when you can't see it. You are always being guided. Even when your path feels unclear, you are not walking it alone. The same energy that created the stars and moves the oceans lives within you. It breathes in you. It leads you. You may not always recognize the signs, but they are there. A gentle thought that brings relief, a kind word from a stranger, a moment of peace in the middle of your pain. These are reminders that you are supported. Take a moment and breathe deeply. Put your hand on your chest and say, I am always guided, even when I feel lost. Let that truth settle into your heart. Begin to trust that things are working out, even if you can't see how. Begin to believe that there is a purpose to your journey, even when you feel uncertain. Look for the small moments of grace each day. A moment of quiet, a breeze on your face, a word that lifts your spirit. These are not accidents. They are the universe whispering, "I'm still here. I've got you." When you feel overwhelmed, close your eyes and imagine yourself being held in light. Let that light soothe your fears. Let it remind you that you are never alone. You were never meant to carry everything by yourself. You were meant to lean on something greater. You were meant to be supported, loved, and protected. Even in your loneliest hours, that love does not leave. Trust it. Lean into it. You are being carried. Everything in life is temporary. Every feeling, every season, every storm. This truth can bring comfort, especially when you are going through a hard time. Pain doesn't last forever. Sadness doesn't stay. Wounds begin to heal. There is always a new chapter waiting, even if it takes time to arrive. When life feels heavy, it's easy to believe that things will always be this way. But nothing in nature stays the same. The trees lose their leaves, and then they bloom again. The night gives way to the morning. Rain eventually ends. Your life is no different. What you are going through right now will pass. You may not know when or how, but you can trust that change is already in motion. This moment is not your forever. Remind yourself gently, this is a moment in time. I will not feel this way forever. Let those words be your anchor. Don't pressure yourself to rush the process. You don't need to force healing. You only need to breathe and keep going. One breath, one step, one gentle thought at a time. Life is made up of moments, and each one holds the chance for something new. You may wake up tomorrow and feel a little lighter. You may notice that a wound that once hurt so deeply now feels softer. Healing can be slow and quiet, but it's always happening beneath the surface. Trust the process. Allow yourself to rest when you need to. Take breaks. Be tender with your heart. When things feel too much, pause and say, "This too shall pass." You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to keep going. Your feelings are not permanent. Your pain is not your identity. You are more than this moment. You are strong enough to make it through. And when the clouds begin to part, you will see just how much you've grown. There is light on the other side of this. Hold on. You don't need to wait for a perfect day to begin again. Every single moment holds the power to start fresh. You don't need a plan or a big change. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is something small and gentle. Maybe it's drinking a glass of water, stepping outside for a few minutes, or writing one sentence in a journal. These small acts matter. They send a message to your heart. I care about myself. I'm willing to begin. Healing happens in the present, not in the past, not in the future, but right now. You don't have to carry yesterday with you. You don't have to worry about tomorrow. Ask yourself, what do I need right now? And then listen with kindness. Maybe you need rest. Maybe you need movement. Maybe you just need to cry. Whatever comes up, honor it. There is no wrong way to begin again. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be true. Say to yourself, each moment is a new chance to love myself. Let that be your permission to keep trying, to keep showing up. You are not expected to have it all figured out. You are only asked to be present, to be gentle, and to believe in the power of now. Take a few moments each morning to speak kindly to yourself. You can begin your day with a simple affirmation like, I am open to feeling better today. That's enough. That's a beautiful beginning. You may be surprised by how much shifts when you make space for yourself in small, loving ways. And when you fall back into old habits, that's okay too. Just begin again, as many times as you need. Beginning again is not failure. It is strength. It is love in action. Your healing is not about reaching a perfect destination. It's about learning to walk with yourself in patience and compassion. You are allowed to begin again every time you forget your worth, every time life feels heavy, every time your heart needs a reminder that it is still loved. You are allowed to start over with tenderness. You are allowed to move slowly. You are allowed to make progress in your own way. Let today be your gentle beginning. You have walked through more than anyone knows. You have carried weight in your heart and kept going, even when it was hard. And today, I want you to remember this truth. You're going to be okay. Life may not look the way you expected. The path may feel longer, the lessons harder, the losses deeper, but you are still here, still breathing, still growing. That means something. That means there is more ahead for you, more healing, more love, more light. You do not have to fix everything to deserve peace. You don't have to be perfectly healed to be worthy of happiness. The journey itself is sacred. The process of learning to love yourself, to trust the timing of your life, to believe that things can get better, that is the real work. And you are doing it, even on the days when it doesn't feel like it. Even when your progress is quiet, you are enough. You are healing in your own time, and you are going to be okay. Let this be the voice you remember when things feel dark. Let this be the whisper you carry when you feel alone. Let this be the truth you speak to yourself over and over again. I am safe. I am healing. I am held by love. I am going to be okay. These words are not just wishes. They are reminders of the strength already inside you. And no matter what comes next, that strength will carry you through. You are going to be okay. You already are.